Hello again. We have Paul Hemmer here, and for those of you who've been twisting the dial looking for Paul, you are going to be back on soon. Tell us about your new venture.
Well, it's an exciting venture, that's for sure. One that I guess probably when I got into the business in 1960, I never thought I'd be doing today. But we're in the process of constructing a brand new FM radio station for Dubuque. In fact, as we came here today, the tower was going up west of Dubuque, and so that's one major step, obviously, out of the way.
Okay, and it's going to be a rock and roll station, right?
Right.
And this is what it is.
KGRR, which means great rock and roll. 70s based, that means we'll be doing Chicago, Fleetwood Mac, Elton John, Billy Joel, CCR, Beatles, people like that.
Do you think there's a need for this type of rock and roll here?
Well, from all the research we've been able to gather over the last year in trying to put together this format, yes, is the answer to that, or we wouldn't be doing it, obviously.
Who does this type of radio station appeal to, do you think?
Nationally, the figures you're saying, 25 to 49, and pretty well equally balanced between males and females. Album-oriented rock stations, which we will not be, tend to be more male-oriented and younger males. But what we're doing, I guess it's the next logical successor to the oldies station.
So what led you to want to leave WDBQ, or how long had you been there before?
Well, since 1960, actually. I worked 7 years part-time and then began full-time mornings in August of 1967. So I spent more than half of my life there.
And what convinced you to leave there and do this?
Well, I guess over the last years there was always that crying need to do this on my own and try to prove that I could do it myself. And the opportunity presented itself, so we went for it.
Well, I know people are antsy to hear you back on the radio. When can they actually hear your voice on this station?
Well, if all goes well, can I knock on something? Wood. There you go. We should be on the first week of December.
Excellent.
The tower was a major project, obviously. That's now just about out of the way. Transmitter will be installed, the studio to transmitter link. The control room will be built tomorrow. And hopefully at least by the 5th of December, we'll be ready to rock and roll.
Well, let's talk about radio. You have been involved in it for years and years. How have you seen it change?
Well, actually, I've seen it change, I guess, totally over that period of time. When I started doing mornings on WDBQ, we were still carrying a program that nobody here remembers probably, but a lot of the audience will, Don McNeil's Breakfast Club, which was a live show, not unlike David Letterman or something like that, but it was done in the mornings with a live orchestra, singers, comedians, the whole works. That was still on the air. And of course, it then finally went off the air, I believe, in about 1970, and stations became much more music intensive, much more local. And then about mid-1980s, they started to drift away from that again, and satellite stations became more popular. Signals that were coming from Dallas and Chicago were on the airwaves, losing some of that local character. Well, we will not be a satellite station. We're going to be totally 100% locally programmed, and that's a big difference. So the pendulum is swinging back, I think.
Dubuque loves its local radio, it seems to me. I mean, radio is very popular here.
There's some dedicated, very loyal fans out there.
What do you think it is about you that appeals to the radio listener?
Habit, I don't know.
Do you think it is just that they wake up to every morning and they enjoy it?
I did that for 27 years, Heather, and I gained a lot of friends. I suppose made a few enemies in the process, too. You can only expect that. But I've always tried to be exactly who I am. If people listen to me, they know where I'm coming from. There's no secrets there. They can meet me on the street and I'm the same person. So.
What's one of the funniest things that ever happened to you in the morning on air? Do you have a favorite story?
Oh, you should have asked me that in advance, because there were a lot of crazy funny things. I was pied one morning, which doesn't mean anything on radio, I suppose, except that it was a total surprise. A lot of great things happened. I worked with some incredibly wonderful people at WDBQ over those 34 years, the last 27 in particular, and I miss a lot of them, you know, I really do, and we'll all get back together again someday.
I'm sure, and let's tell everyone once again, 97.3 KGRR, and now, the beginning of December you're going to be.
Will they allow you to wear this? This is the first of our sweatshirts, and it's yours, Heather.
Thank you very much, Paul. Yeah. You'll have to come back and talk more about this new station once you're on the air.
Sounds good.
We'll be right back.